Hi guys, welcome back. Today I want to talk about how not to run out of money. Every month, most of us struggle with having only a few dollars left or no dollars left. And I want to tell you some tips and tricks on how to avoid that. Okay, I get right into it. Number one is separate your money. Take care of your bills first, but separate what you're going to have to work with. Like, for instance, I put my money in different parts of my purse. So that way it's not like you're pulling money out of a large pool of money. You don't have this illusion that you have a lot of money. You have a little money here, the money that you have for gas, have that in one spot, and the money that you have for groceries, have that in one spot. And first of all, you have to have a budget. Um, how people live without a budget, I have no idea. And I suspect that they're struggling more than they have to. But have a budget. And okay, just for instance, every 2 weeks we spend $50 on groceries. So after I cash my check at the bank, I put the $50 for groceries in my purse, and I spend usually somewhere around $20 for gas. But I don't put everything together in one compartment because then that just gives you this idea that you have more money to spend than you actually do. And so when I go into the gas money, um, I take note that, I usually just put the whole $20 in at once. With the groceries, sometimes it's a little different. I might spend $10 on groceries at one store and $20 on groceries at another. But I keep track of my spending. And this way, when the money for that particular thing is gone, it's time to cease spending in that area. You have a certain amount of money for groceries, you have a certain amount of money for gas. Okay, but in addition to the budget, you keep your money in separate places. So you want to give yourself the idea that you're running out of money before you actually do run out of money. So, like me, I have usually about 50, maybe $60 to spend every 2 weeks, just for miscellaneous, dining out, whatever. And I stay within that. So, but I spend that money, and so when I'm trying to keep from running out of money before the next pay period. So this gives me the this gives me the feeling that I'm already running low on money. So I always stretch it. I always monitor what I spend. I always think it through before I make any purchases. I mean, even small purchases, because all of those dollars add up. If you spend $5, $10 casually on miscellaneous stuff that you don't need, and you probably don't, and you get it home and you realize you don't even particularly want it, that's $10 that could have been used to um, last you, until next payday, or that's money that could have been used for something better than just casually spending it. So one thing is to spend your money, and I think this is the biggest tip of all, as far as to keep yourself from running out of money, is to have the mindset that you're running out of money as soon as you um, get paid, or as soon as you receive some money, as soon as um, you have any type of money come to you, before you even start spending it, before you even create the budget. or any time afterwards, get the mindset that you are already on the last portion of the money that you have. And what I mean by that is, like, when I go shopping, if I get paid Friday, if I get paid or if I cash my check at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I'm at, say I'm at the I'm gonna buy a sweater or whatever, or I'm at the grocery store, or I'm at the clothing store. But let's say the grocery store, because that's more serious. You know, everyone has to go grocery shopping. You know, and some people argue that clothes shopping is optional. Um, Maybe for some people, but most people need to go clothing shopping periodically as well. And it's not just to showboat, but just to be presentable. But nevertheless, let's say I'm at the grocery store. When I'm at the grocery store, I'm not just randomly shopping. You know, I have my list of groceries that I want to purchase, my list of items, and I also have an idea of how much I want to spend on each item. And I'm very serious about it because I don't want to run out of money. So I want to get my essentials. I want to get a few things that me and Shelby like, or Shelby and I like, and but I want to stay within a budget. So even at the grocery store, I will not um, spend more than maybe five, sometimes $10 outside of the budget that I have put together. And it's very rare for me to spend as much as $10 outside the budget. But I'm just saying I am staying within a certain ballpark. I'm not just going into the grocery store. So the budget is for $60. So I'm not going to spend $100. I'm not even, I'm not going to accidentally spend $100 because I have the list with me. And which brings me to another thing is to always shop with a list. Whether you're shopping for groceries, especially if you're shopping for groceries, or if you're at the hardware store, you're picking up some supplies, or you're shopping for clothes, whatever you're about to make a purchase for, even if it's just one item, write it down because you don't want to leave home and then come back home and you'd have made the entire trip and didn't bring back the main thing that you was intending to bring back. So yes, make a list. But soon as you acquire some money, whether your father gave you some money or you just got paid today, um, or you inherited some money, or however the money came about, whether this is your weekly paycheck or your bi-weekly paycheck or your check that you receive on the first of the month, soon as you get your money, put yourself in the mindset that you are already on your last few dollars. You do not have any money. You do not have any you don't have enough money to spend frivolously. You don't, every dollar has to count. So if you have this mindset, just for instance, like if you have $500, if your check is for $500, have the mindset that you are already down to your last $20. So every dollar that you spend, have the mindset, okay, this is my last. This is the $20 I'm putting in the gas tank. This is the last $20 I have to put in the gas tank, because that may very well be true. But even if it's not true, you want to always spend your money sparingly. Don't spend any more than necessary. That's what I'm basically trying to say. Don't spend any more money than necessary. Write down what you need, write down what you want, and write down what you can afford, and be reasonable about it. Because if you go, and I give you a great example. I had some neighbors that when they got paid, okay, first of all, they didn't have a budget, and when they got paid, they usually went to party, went out to the clubs and everything like that, went clothing shopping without a budget. And so they got paid on Friday, and by Sunday or Monday, they've already spent half their check. They haven't paid any of the essentials, like the light bill, the rent, and the mortgage and stuff like that. Car notes, they haven't even touched that yet. And they, so by Monday morning, they already almost broke. Um, Wednesday, they pay a few bills, but they haven't paid all of them. So, and that's a result of not having a budget and spending your money carelessly. So, right. So you stay within your means, write down what you want, what you need, and spend your money as if, always have the mindset as if you're spending your last. You don't have any extra money. And I promise you, if you do this, you will see that you're very rarely you're running out, because you're not allowing yourself to run out of money, because you staying on top of it, you keeping track of what of your spending, you write down what you need, get what you need out of your money. And most of the time, if you can't afford things, don't buy things you can't afford. And when the budget is tight, don't buy things that you don't actually need during that time. And I give you a good example before I close this video. Chevy and we're paying off this car because we just got this car. We just traded in our beautiful Camry because the terrain is too rough where we're living now, and the Camry sat too low to the ground. And that was a sacrifice because I love that car. But nevertheless, we traded it in, and this vehicle is costing us. The bank had to loan us $2,200 to for financing, and so we used the Camry and we put $1,500 down, but we still needed to have $2,200 financed. Okay, that wasn't a problem. I didn't foresee that as being a problem, but after they make you wait and wait, and I think this is part of the psychology of the whole thing. They make you wait and wait, and so by the time you get to the paperwork, you're trying to rush through it because you have other things to do, and the interest rate is 33.61% for 2,200. 33.61% for $2,200. So, and I think a lot of people, they either don't understand interest, or that's just something they just tend to overlook. That is extremely high. So if I loan you $100, and when it's time to pay me back, I'm asking for $133.61. That's essentially what that means. So, and if I take 2 years, the contract was written up for 2 years, and I think for 2 years our payments would be $134 a month. But uh, at 33.61% interest, that would be nearly $2,000 on top of the $2,200 of the principal. The principal is 2,200. So if I took the whole 2 years to pay them back, I'm paying them basically double. I would be paying almost double the amount of the principal. And then I started figuring out, I started breaking everything down, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay this off in 1 year. And then I was like, when I further thought about it, and I was like, I need to go ahead and pay these guys off in 6 months, because I realized that at 33.61%, that's $65 a month for $2,200. I can see, I probably would be comfortable if it was like $10,000 or $20,000, but $65 a month for $2,200. So I kept playing with the figures and playing with the figures, and then I realized we can pay them off in 2 months. We're gonna have to buckle down. I mean, we're not gonna starve or anything, but we might not be able to make any road trips for a month. We might have to kind of cut down on that. But other than that, we're going to pay them off like in 6 weeks. We're going to pay them off and be done with it. Um, we're not going to have too much wiggle room, but we're going to be done with them. Because if you think about it, $65 a month, that's a lot of money to have coming out of your pocket, you know, for such a small loan. And so that's how we're going to do that. And that's another thing. Get people out of your pocket when you can, whenever humanly possible. Get people out of your pocket. So we're going to send them $837 the first of August. A few days from now, we're going to send them $838, and the contract payment was 134. But we're going to send them $838, which is more than a third of the whole principal. So we're going to send that off. Then on September the 30th, no, August the 30th of the same month, we're going to send them $837, $838 August the 2nd. Then we're going to send another $838 August the 30th in the same month. Then September the 1st, I don't think we're going to be able to send, we're going to send like a half payment, something like $420, right? We're going to send $420 September the 14th and September the 1st, and then we're going to send the final payment of $440 September the 14th, and we're going to be done with them. And I advise you to do the same thing whenever you possibly can. You might not be able to do it in 6 weeks, like we are, because we live off grid, so we basically don't have utility bills and rent bills and stuff like that. But do it as humanly possible. Go on and bite the bullet. Get those people out of your pocket, because I know sending in a lesser payment enables you to continue doing what you like to do. You know, like Chevy and I, we like to do our road trips. I like to go shopping at thrift stores. Still in the process of furnishing our cabin and things like that. But those are things that can be put on hold, so we can get these people out of our pocket. Because if I took 6 months, however many months, the more each and every month that I take to pay these guys back, they $2,200 is an additional $65 out of our household that could be used for many other things. So with that, I'm going to close the video. Talk to you guys later.